Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Mardek, and of course last episode we made our way into the Aeropolis library where we learned about where to find that book that will supposedly allow us to summon a soul from the soul plane and allow that to inhabit the metal man body that Meridor created. And what could possibly go wrong with all that necromancy stuff? Surely nothing, right? I'm sure we'll be fine. But before we do any of that, I wanted to make sure that we took a moment here to take a look at 2 new Dreamstones that we picked up. One of these, if you remember, was from when we completed that quest in the slums, taking out all the bandits, and we weren't sure what exactly we got as a reward for that quest. We got a Dreamstone for that, and then the other Dreamstone we got after we turned in a certain number of artifacts to the curator at the museum. So let's check these out. I'm alive? Hurrah for magic! But wait, didn't I not want to be alive? Oh, I don't know. I'm so glad to have got lucky right now. But wait, where am I? I still feel like I can barely move. I think I'm in a bed? Warm and cozy. Nice. Maybe I should groan. Then whoever's watching over me will know I'm conscious again. Groan! Are you awake now? That voice. Is it her? The luck? But now I'm so nervous. Ah! Oh no! I was so scared of this bit. Now I'm really anxious and I don't know what to say. What if I say or do something stupid and ah! Yes, I'm up. I'm so glad. I thought you wouldn't make it. Are you, yes, it's me. Funny. That, isn't it? That I was the one who found you lying there? Better than some stranger, eh? I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way or anything. I don't know if he even could, but I'm still worried. What are you doing here? Where am I? I'm so tired. Sorry if I seem really out of it. My head's a mess. Yeah, I understand. I'm here because, well, I just realized. You made it! You did! You survived! Did you all survive? Did he? He's fine. Yeah. Whew. That's a huge load off my chest. Thank the gods. I'm so very, very happy to hear that. Yes. Do you need anything? Are you feeling okay? I don't know what to say anymore. Maybe I should just try to, comfort him? Make him comfortable. Her hand just touched my arm. So soft. I feel like saying, in my mind, even though that seems really giddy. Oh, right, she just asked me something. I'm still feeling like I can barely move, but, I think I'll be okay if I just rest a while longer. Oh, okay. Should I leave you alone for a while then? No. Stay. Please? Okay. She's holding my hand. So soft. So nice and warm. My hands must be like ice, corpsey, full of slime and muck. I wonder if this will end up going anywhere. I sorta hope so, yet I don't know. Maybe I just need to separate myself from these people. This life. I'm a failure as a hero, and I don't deserve anything. I deserve to die. I wonder if this will end up going anywhere. I sort of hope so, yet I don't know. I don't think I'd be anything other than a complete disappointment. I don't know how to act, what to do, what's right and what's not. I'm a wreck right now. I'm so glad he hasn't opened his eyes, so he can't see the tears. They're gone. I'm all alone. I don't know if I can take it. Maybe then, I do hope this goes somewhere. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Okay, that got a little steamy there. One moment while we take a second to cool off a bit. Okay, so yeah, any sense yet as to who those two people might be? I feel like there are certainly some pieces there you might start to be able to fit together a little bit. But with that, let's head straight into the next one. And you'll notice that this is the same music that we heard in the previous one. So we'll see if that further helps you to tie all the pieces together. So then we defeated the Gruul and saved the village. But all Rohoff could say was, I could have done that much faster if I had my powers. That's so like him. Yeah, he can be really annoying at times. I used to be envious that it wasn't me who he possessed. But I suppose over the years that I've become glad of not having some self-righteous old guy in my brain, constantly chiding me and stuff. I can't really understand how he copes with it. Nor can I, but I sort of admire his strength. It still can't compare to your heroism, though. Anyway, I, still don't know all that much about your early years. You said you used to live in here with your parents? It's a nice place and everything, but didn't it get a bit lonely? Or scary with all the monsters? The monsters didn't attack the Guardians, so we were safe there. But I must admit, it was really lonely at times. Really lonely. I kept looking up at the village where the other humans were, longing to go and play with them, but my parents said it was forbidden, that I had duty to attend to and stuff. That I was special, and they'd not want to play with me. That must have been awful. I suppose I got used to it after a while, but still. I'm glad you're here with me now. I'm just really glad to be making you happy. I still can't get over the loss of my parents, but I suppose I'd sort of distanced myself from them anyway in recent years. I do miss them a lot, but I'd miss them far more if I hadn't found you lying by the lake. They'll still be watching me from the big beyond anyway, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be with you. Make sure you are. Don't you worry. I'm so scared all the time. My duty. I'm doing things wrong because I missed out on some social experiences that other people had. I don't like having this responsibility thrust on me when I don't feel ready. My parents sent me to the guard to learn skills to protect the crystal, but I don't know if what I learned was enough. We saved the world, you know? Try to look at it that way. You got better than most guards ever do. You're as capable as can be. Thank you. I find it hard to believe you, but I'm glad you're trying to reassure me. It helps. I do know what you mean, though, about those doubts about your abilities. Not a day has gone by when I don't wonder whether I'm good enough for what I'm trying to be. I often think to myself things like, what am I doing? Trying to play hero? Me? How ridiculous. I couldn't save an ant from drowning, let alone save the world from evil last bosses. In many ways, I'm glad that I sacrificed myself and didn't return to become a knight. He has his work set out for him now, but I honestly don't think I could have done it. We're together on that, then. I turned mine down because I couldn't handle it. You avoided the embarrassment of refusing it to his face. Lucky you. We're so strong. aren't we? But I'm glad we're revealing things like this to each other. Me too. It's good to get things like this off my chest. Makes me feel less weak and pathetic. Find a similar soul to relate to. Feel less alone. I know exactly what you mean. I used to think I was the only one with this personality, with these doubts. Me too. Felt like I had to hide it. Pretend. Is it cold in here? I think it's cold. Is this better? Yes, much better. Thank you. You feel so warm. So nice. I've always wondered what this would feel like. I think I'm actually experiencing it. Cuddling with a girl I had my eye on in front of a fireplace. My lust wants to go out of control and celebrate, but I really just want to ignore it right now. It's difficult, but I also feel like there's a stronger feeling at work here than the one in my pants. My mind is at ease, at peace. This is so wonderful. I never thought I'd find such a thing. I hope it can last forever. And yet, I can't help but feeling this isn't mutual. Did she say that thank you with iciness? Am I imagining it? I don't want to inflict myself on someone who doesn't want me. That would be the worst thing in the world. Maybe I should let go. You let go? Ah, did I do something wrong? Does he not like me? What's the matter? I'm really tired all of a sudden. I think I'm going to go to bed. Okay. Night-night then, I think. Yeah. Night. Now I'm worried. What did I do? I knew I'd do something wrong. I knew I'd be a disappointment. Should never have been so forthright. That was a stupid thing to do. So unlike me. Now I just feel embarrassed and hurt, knowing that she doesn't feel the same way. I suppose it was best to find out early, though, before I could build up enough feeling to get even more hurt when my hopes were shattered. And yet, maybe I am just imagining this. Maybe I'm missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Why can't I just talk about this with her? I'm so scared of hearing the wrong things, of ruining what we have, our friendship. Maybe I should go and talk to him. Tell him how I feel. Try to explain why I do things wrong. I don't want to lose what we have here. Okay, there he is. I know what I can do to show him, without words. Then I can know for sure. I just hope this is okay, but I'm so scared. I bet he can feel my heart pounding. Now's the moment of truth. She just got into bed with me. Behind me. Unexpected. Thank you. He's hugging me back? This is so nice. Okay, and if things weren't getting hot in the previous Dreamstone, they certainly did that time. So at this point, surely you know who those two people are, right? Surely you do. I won't tell you just yet, but, I mean, at this point, getting an awful lot of hints. So, maybe let's continue the reading theme here, and continue going through and reading every single bookshelf in here. As for which one we're technically supposed to start with, I suppose maybe top left? Deities. What are they? Deities are entities on a higher level of existence than we mere mortals. They are the overseers of the universe, eternal benefactors who watch, maintain, and create the world and creatures around us. They come in three major types. There are the higher creator deities, such as YALORT, who designed creatures and worlds, shaping the elements of the universe to their desires. They cannot cause anything to appear. They can merely mold what already exists. The mid-level elemental deities represent and have control over one single element in particular. They have supreme power over that element, so they are the ones that grant its use to the creators. They are the makers of the crystals. The lesser archetype deities are formed from minds, filling niches that society needs to be fulfilled. They represent standards of what people should be, and as such, they are not omnipotent, or perfect, or out of reach. Or they exist as things to worship for certain specific needs. The names of deities should always be fully capitalized. However, the words to refer to their followers do not follow this rule. YALORT's followers are YALORTians, for example, not YALORTians or YALORTians. This is because the capitals show the power of the deity's name. Derived forms are no longer the name of the deity and lose their power. Deities are non-physical entities, and are as such, formless. However, when they interact, they tend to manifest as the same forms in order to be recognized. As most people have never seen a deity though, any artwork depicting them is speculative, a way of putting such a floaty idea into something we can comprehend and recognize. Okay, I'm guessing based on that book there that the general theme here is likely to be other deities? Worship. The worship of mortals is important to deities. None of them demand it, and there are no consequences for ignoring all the deities entirely, but there are rewards to be had from devotion. Worshipping creator deities devotedly tends to grant the ability to cast certain spells, such as YALORT's Green Lightning. The eyes of a devoted follower also glow a solid color, seeing beyond the mere physical, as the person becomes enlightened. Praying to the natural elemental deities tends to grant good fortune when in that element. Sailors may pray to Chrisosuna, adventurers, the Krogum, or Quok. Pyromancers may pray to Volkos. Praying to the moral elemental deities tends to be done out of desire to be more good or more evil. A charitable, well-wishing person may pray to Ariandine for the strength to become a better, kinder person, while a villain may pray to Shambra that he not get caught or defeated or upset by his ill deeds. The archetype gods exist specifically to be prayed to for certain purposes, and grant slight but significant boons to those who ask for their aid. Mutanuit may empower a musical performer, for example, and Akwilphi may assist a besotted young man in asking a girl out by giving him confidence. Okay. Deities. YALORT. YALORT is a higher creator deity responsible for the creation of humans, reptoids, Belthan, and so on and so forth. He is represented as a large green dragon with black stripes, piercing red eyes, and wings textured like the infinite cosmos. His symbol is the Eye of YALORT, and his followers are known as YALORTians. YALORTism is the largest organized religion in the world by far. We've certainly seen that thus far. SOLAK, maybe number 2, but it seems like maybe a pretty distant number 2 at that. SOLAK is a higher creator deity who used to be worshipped extensively across the world. He was thought to be responsible for every sunrise, so people prayed, even sacrificed, to him in order to bring the sun up the next day. Over time, people began to realize that the sun came up whether or not they prayed to SOLAK, and eventually, most people lost the drive to worship to him at all. There just wasn't any point in wasting their time. This has left SOLAK feeling rather disgruntled and unappreciated, it seems. At least, there are a small group of devoted SOLAKians in the world to this day, who tend to follow strict lifestyle rules such as celibacy and isolation. And we have, of course, seen those people. Dream Realm, Volume 1. The Dream Realm, also known as the Big Realm, is a layer of reality between the true astral and the material realm. It is where dreams and thoughts take place. and we have of course been there, briefly, but we have been there before. Everything in the dream realm is formed from mind stuff, big stuff, the stuff of thoughts and dreams. The layout imitates that of the material realm, due to the fact that it's formed from the thoughts of mortal creatures. However, it is not alive as the material world is. It is merely an image of our reality, caused by our thoughts. This means that it can sometimes differ from the material if thoughts about the material change or are not strong enough. For example, you may explore a field in the dream realm, which you know is empty in the material, only to find a building there. It may be that this building was destroyed in the material, yet it lingers in the dream realm because the inhabitants thought so strongly and often about its existence, yet nobody has really thought about its non-existence very much. Objects in the dream realm do not move. They merely appear, then gradually fade, based on the thoughts of mortal minds. Okay, good to get more information about it. Now, Volume 2. We enter the dream realm every time we sleep and dream. We don't realize it. When this happens, rather than wandering around the image of the material, we instead find ourselves in separate bubbles of mind stuff, where our subconscious thoughts create unique worlds to explore. Our conscious minds are feeble when compared to our subconscious minds in terms of creating in the dream realm. We find ourselves in worlds that we did not willingly create while dreaming, yet if we were to try to conjure up an ideal situation, it tends to end in failure. Okay, it's not like we can make a utopian dream realm world. It is possible, with training, to walk in the dream realm while conscious. This is difficult and usually limited to certain skilled shamans and mages. Once there, it is difficult to shape the environment to your whims, despite the malleable nature of the mind stuff. This is due to how weak the conscious mind is when it comes to creating or shifting. It is technically possible to move physical locations by traveling into the dream realm, then out again at a different point. Warping works this way. You shift into an isolated pocket of the dream realm, then your subconscious mind causes that reality to fold in on itself, landing you at the destination point at which you slip into the material. It would theoretically be possible to travel across the entire universe, or even into other realities, using this method, but human subconscious minds are simply not strong enough for this. Okay, but are there others that could actually make that happen? Deities. KIKITH. KIKITH, the Joker, is a chaotic neutral trickster archetype deity. He is generally depicted as a shadow black bird wearing a top hat, with a crooked, enigmatic disposition and a fondness for riddles and lies. His name is more often cursed than worshipped, though he can be popular amongst mischievous young children, thieves, or those who love riddles and games. Okay, fortunately I don't think we've had any relation or encounters or anything of that sort with KIKITH. Deities. GALARIS. GALARIS, the Ever Reaper, is a lawful evil overseer deity. He represents death, both as an archetype and as a natural force. He has two roles: to collect the souls of the departed, and to watch over the realm of the afterlife, a black void where those who lived evil lives must spend as long as it takes to atone for their crimes. He is depicted as a shadowy figure wearing a dark, ragged robe, wielding a huge scythe, which with he cuts the silver cords of those on the brink of demise. His likeness is universally used in artwork to suggest death or dying, either in the sense of danger or just death by old age. Reminds me an awful lot of Mardek. Definitely some similarities there. Deities. KIKITH. KIKITH, the Plaguebringer, is a true neutral pestilent archetype deity. It is depicted as an enormous beetle with a skeletal motif, which billows black clouds of locusts from its throbbing abdomen, destroying all in its wake with plagues and disease. Yikes. It is called upon when someone wishes devastation upon an enemy, first when a plague is devastating people, and also called on for forgiveness in order to stop plagues or diseases. I suppose in that case, maybe there is some use to trying to call upon him. Deities. GIMPALARCANUS. GIMPALARCANUS, the sorceress thaumaturge, is a true neutral archetype deity of universal magic. His depictions vary, but one of the most common is that of a wizard clothed in a hooded robe of stars. A long white tendril of a beard tumbling to the floor from the swirling void that is his face. He's prayed to by spellcasters in general for greater success with their spells, or more magical power, things like that. Okay. And there's certainly more where that came from. Deities, the moral ones. Shumbra, the Calignis warlock, is the elemental deity of darkness. He's usually depicted as a humanoid adorned with ceremonial black feathers, with a blind head, a snout full of fangs, twisted into a malicious snarl. He is thoroughly evil and deceitful. He is the shadow that lurks in the night. He thrives on fear and misery. He tends to be worshipped by tricksters, thieves, and sadistic or selfish people, as he helps out people who do things for their own benefit without considering anyone else. Shumbra's antipode is Ariadne, an abstract deity consisting of a collective mass of pure souls. It is hard to picture it, as it transcends the normal dimensions, but if you were to try, you could think of it as a ball, an orb of vibrant life, at the center being the deity's essence, with layers upon layers of smaller, orbiting souls. Ariandine is averse to selfishness. It favors those who put others first, and honors them after death, if they so wish, by allowing their soul to join with it, becoming part of its mind. So that's why there's so many rotating souls. I gotcha. Deities, the natural ones. Volkos, the ever-burning flame, is the deity of fire. He is usually depicted as a humanoid with the head of a dragon or lion, or some other fierce creature. He is violent and unpredictable, yet grants his favor to pyromancers, or any who seek to harness the powers of fire. Chrysosuna, the graceful mermaid, is the overseer of all things relating to the element of water. She is depicted as a calm, beautiful maiden, sometimes with the tail of a fish, other times not. She is serene and worshipped by those who want peaceful lives, or those who travel by the sea and wish to avoid storms. Folk, Zephyr of Change, is the chaotic air deity. It cannot decide whether it is male or female. It manifests as either, depending on its mood. It is prayed to as a god of travel, adventure, and change, and as such, is a favorite of adventurers who live on the edge of the wind. Krogum, the stalwart titan, is the deity of earth. He manifests as a golem, a giant tree man, or similar nature spirits depending on the circumstances. He prefers that life be taken slowly, seriously, and calmly, and his worshippers tend to be the ones who agree with his philosophy. Okay? Deities AACILPHI. No idea how to pronounce that. Thank you. AACILPHI. Okay. The Darling Heart Saint is an archetype deity for emotions such as love, lust, friendship, social gatherings, teamwork, fertility, and other such positive bonding emotions. She's depicted as an intensely beautiful woman with golden skin and hair, wings made of golden feathers, and a golden wand, which she uses to cast love spells. She's popular among infatuated youths who pray to her for help in getting their first awkward relationships started. She's also popular amongst motivators and partygoers. AACILPHI's moral alignment is chaotic good. Deities ABOMONATOROS. ABOMONATOROS, the unconditional abhorrer, is the perverse counterpart of AACILPHI, a deity of hate rather than love. Though she is rarely worshipped by the sane, she does still have a lot of work. She's depicted as a direct counterpart to AACILPHI, a mockery of the Darling Heart Saint's glamorous appearance. Her wings and hair are black and ragged rather than gold, her skin is pale or dark gray, and her figure is more skeletal than voluptuous. She's generally seen with a frown, to contrast with AACILPHI's cheery grin. ABOMONATOROS is a deity of hate and loathing, but not of anger. She represents a cold, simmering distaste for things rather than a forceful, aggressive desire to destroy. As such, she's not evil, merely discontent. She hates evil as much as she hates good. Her name is used as an interjection of intense dislike. Saying, I hate you, may be harsh, but saying, may ABOMONATOROS glare at you, is a way of saying that you really, really, and utterly hate that person's guts. ABOMONATOROS' moral alignment is true neutral, as she hates everything equally. Lovely. As for over here, we have ONEIROS, is a true neutral ethereal deity who has specific control and power over the dream realm. It is usually portrayed as a huge whale-like beast with iridescent skin like a shifting rainbow, which lulls to sleep and creates dreamscapes with its mesmerizing song. And I believe the talisman that we got that allowed all of our party members to go into the dream realm is from ONEIROS. People pray to ONEIROS for a good night's sleep and pleasant dreams, and often seek out its counsel when trying to interpret particularly significant dreams that they may have had. Sounds reasonable. Reptoids. What? Are Reptoids a deity? Reptoids are a sentient, humanoid reptilian race that tend to live in caves. They're rarely seen above the surface or around human settlements. They tend to have a distasteful view of us and keep out of our way if they can. They are noble and honorable, valuing politeness, calmness of mind, and strength of will and body. They're hermaphrodites. Every individual can potentially mate with any other, and they don't suffer significant hindering effects from pregnancy, meaning that breeding for them is vastly different to how it is for us. Okay, the more you know about Reptoids. The Sun Temple. We've been there! The desert west of Aeropolis used to be known as the Badlands. What? The priests? The bad guys? Rarely did people leave alive once they entered it. Bandits killed them. Lots of evil bandits. There was a lot of dark influence in those parts, but nobody knew why. Partly to satisfy their bizarre religious desires to be isolated, partly because nobody else would allow them to do this anywhere near them, but also to try to solve this problem, some Solakian priests decided to build a temple to SOLAK in the Badlands. It took 10 years to build, and once it was done, the differences in the environment were strong and noticeable. The bandits became priests. What? And the barbaric reptoids became calm, polite, and meditative. This goes to show the power that the light has to subdue the evils of darkness. And we do of course know that the Dark Temple is not far from there either. That might be the reason why there was a lot of evil going on there previously. Shamans. The planet is a living creature, just like we are. It just isn't the same type of life as we. While we have blood and bones, it has magma and rock. While we have organs, it has the crystals. It, like us, has a mind and needs. Due to our vastly different natures, it is impossible for the planet to communicate directly with we mere fleshlings, yet often it needs to tell us how to look after it. To solve this predicament, we use the Shamans. Shamans are individuals chosen by nature to be the planet's representatives, its mouthpieces, so that it is able to convey information to us. There's one per geographical region, and when one falls, a successor takes their place. Shamans do not volunteer to be shamans. That role is decided before their birth, but they don't know it until the shaman they take over for dies. Shamans can have lifespans many times those of mortal humans, due to the planet's energy flowing through them. They're also granted the ability to use nature magic and innate geological empathy to understand what the planet wants. They don't talk to the planet directly, but merely know what it wishes, what must be done. Interesting, so obviously we of course have a shaman in our party right now, so that explains some of Gloria's abilities. Deities. VGAARKLAK. VGAARKLAK, the Mauler of Bones, is a chaotic evil war deity, usually depicted as a humongous, wingless, bipedal dragon, clad in blood-red plate mail, wielding a giant serrated sword in each of his 4 muscly arms. It is a god of violence, anger, and destruction, not of honorable combat between code-following warriors. People who pray to it have no qualms about fighting dirty. Okay. Deities. PLOMHARG. PLOMHARG, the friendly weathered, is a neutral good deity of harvest and farming, usually ignored by adventurers and thrill seekers, PLOMHARG is nevertheless a very important deity in the world. He appears as a humble, jolly fat man, wearing whatever farming garments are common in the vicinity. He exudes no sense of threat or judgment, coming across as someone who just wishes the best for his followers. Farmers the world over pray to him for good harvests, and if they are sincere in their motivation, then they are generally blessed by him without fail. Sounds like, all in all, pretty good guy, compared to some of the other people we were hearing about here. Lutanuit, the Bard of Stars, is a neutral good deity of music, generally depicted as a silver-blue octopus-like creature with a different instrument in each of its many arms. A one-man band of sorts. One octopus band, really. Musicians tend to pray to it for luck in their performances, and it grants them an enthusiastic energy and the ability to play with deep emotion. It's also generally thanked when people are born with innate music talents. Deities, BRUUMTIESSAL. BRUUMTIESSAL, the helpful listener, is a neutral good friendship deity. She's similar to AACILPHI in that she can be called upon as a friend, but while AACILPHI is more of the extroverted, woo, that's party inclination, BRUUMTIESSAL is more introverted and calm, a listener rather than a partier. She is prayed to and called upon by people in distress, who need guidance in their life, who just want someone to listen to them, or who feel lonely in need of comfort. She manifests as either a meek young girl or a plump, elderly, bespectacled mother figure, depending on which the prayer would feel most comfortable around. Both are friendly, calm, and not judgmental. They forgive and help no matter what's wrong. Also, sounds like a wholesome god. The Astral Realm. When we die, our larval existence, that's an odd way to phrase that, but sure, our larval existence as a physical entity ceases, and we take on pure spirit form. We ascend to the Astral Realm in preparation for a whole new kind of timeless, formless existence. The Astral Realm is a place of pure thought, pure ether, where anything is possible. Imagining things causes them to appear. You can create whole towns with mere wishes. It's the realm that dreams happen in, except after death, you're aware and in control. Okay, so very similar to the Fig Realm. Necropolises. Though it is possible to wander alone in the Astral Realm, making your dreams come true via beliefs alone, most people aren't simply thrust into the raw, open, chaotically writhing wilderness of the realm. Instead, when they die, they ascend to a place which their religion taught them would be waiting for them. Heaven, essentially. It is exactly as their religion taught. In truth, there are many of these heavens, known as necropolises. All the afterlife spoken of in every religion actually exists. They range from serene palaces of pearl and gold, to blissful fields of flowers, to huge battlegrounds full of fresh monsters to slay. They are formed inside bubbles on the Astral Realm by deities, and exist as a form of reward, and a place for gathering for like minds who believed in the same heaven. It is possible, once at a necropolis, to leave, to ascend to higher planes, or to reincarnate, but the time that souls can spend there is unlimited. Some never leave because they desire no more than what is there. Skilled astral travelers can hop between different necropolises as a traveler, an ability that offers limitless wonders, as it is said that life forms on other worlds have their own necropolises too. A lot of possibilities, and the whole idea of referring to a heaven of sorts as a necropolis is a little concerning, but okay. Not gonna lie, I first read that as the Antilife. The Antilife. The gods are not usually judgmental. However, guilt is a strong emotion. People are their own judges, and there are some who die full of guilt due to leading a life full of evil that they never really accepted. These poor, tormented souls congregate as a place known as the Antilife, the limitless black void of despair, which is used for contemplation, seeking atonement. The duration that they spend in this abyss is all up to the individual soul. They spend as long as they need there, and for some, this can be an eternity. The Antilife is overseen by GALARIS, the Everreaper, who keeps a watchful eye over all who arrive. He doesn't punish them himself, but makes them quite aware of how bad their actions were by intensifying their negative emotions like fear, regret, and so on, to speed up their process, it seems. Or just because he's really mean. Okay, looks like this might be the last one. Reincarnation. We do not necessarily have to live only one life. It is true that we generally remember nothing from before we were born, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't anything from before we were born. After death, souls are free to roam the astral planes, or satisfy their desires and congregate with others in a necropolis. This goes on for a timeless eternity. Boredom exists for some, and once they've literally done everything, there's nothing left to do. This is where reincarnation comes in. They can decide to start anew, with fresh, empty minds devoid of their old memories. They're still the same soul, but they do not realize, once born, that they're replaying the game. Everything is new to them. After death, their memories of all previous lives are restored, and they know who they are once more. This often leads to souls reincarnating again and again. The reasons for reincarnating aren't necessarily due to boredom and desire for a new start, however. Some souls merely like the limitations of the physical toil so much that they want to return for another go. The reincarnation cycle can be never-ending, though some souls do learn all that they possibly can from it, and ascend to the next level of existence, where a whole new reality beyond our comprehension exists for them to explore from scratch. What? Excuse me? Separate from the Fig Realm? I don't know. But anyways, that's a whole lot of reading, so with that, I think this is probably a good place for us to wrap up here, and next time round, I think we do still have a few other small sections in Aeropolis to check out, notably the Temple District, where supposedly there is the Air Temple, where we might be able to find the Air Crystal that we are kinda hoping to get. So we'll check that out and see if there are any other ways for us to become even more learned.